What's up, everybody? This is the NYC Nobodies podcast back from a 3-week hiatus.
Little hiatus. We needed that.
Listen,
so much
guys,
going on.
life be happening, bro. I had to move. People weren't feeling well. People are looking for jobs. Life happens sometimes, so my bad. It happens. We'll try not to let it happen again.
Our hearts all over the place with the Knicks and NYCFC. It's been a busy week and a busy month, I should say, in New York sports. So we need a little bit to unwind, a little bit, just taking some feelings. And we're back. We're going to recap the month of May, not only for the Knicks, but of course NYCFC.
Yeah.
And, a few other things for New York sports. But, we're in a new month. So let's give it a
It is the
crack.
first day of June. Rent day. Rent was due today. I gotta tell you guys something. My rent has increased. Woo!
But you know who didn't pay their rent?
Who?
The Knicks. Because unfortunately, our
1, 2, 3 Cancun.
Our great, amazing run has come to an end.
Yep.
Of course, the whole city was inspired. We all had a great time.
We were out every night.
Thank you for
Midtown.
everyone for all the memories. But yeah, man, this is just year one of the whole project. Very impressive for what this team has done and how they came together.
Yeah.
And, it's on forward from now. And hopefully, the front office, of course, Dolan, Leon Rose, everybody feels the same way.
Yep, Worldwide West. Only thing I would say is that this was definitely the most memorable playoff run out of all the most recent ones that we've had. Like, everyone talks about the Trae Young and the Miami series and last year again. This was like a run that, it really sucks the way it ended, but they always say it's the hope that kills you, but fuck it. I remember when the Knicks season was over in fucking November, October, like the first month of the season. So the fact that we were playing hoop basically until June.
Yep.
Shout out to the Knicks, bro. I can't hear the noise, but yeah, you guys are getting
Let's talk about those
Clap
double
it
headers, man. The freaking NYCFC Knicks double headers. Those were
We were
best.
going to the Knicks watch party and then the NYCFC. It was wild.
And I just hope that this just becomes a new norm. I mean, it should be a new norm. This should be the beginning of a new culture for New York City basketball. So, hard work to be done in this offseason, but kudos to all the players for making us inspired and making 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, people who haven't seen in their lifetime
Yeah.
a run like this
The
go
kids, man.
mental. So
Shout out to Jalen Brunson for literally being the king of New York. He might have not, but he still played great. The dude drops 25, and they said he had an off game.
I
So
mean,
that already
historical.
shows how much of a beast he is. So shout out to the Knicks, 2024, 2025 New York Knicks. It was an epic ride. Definitely one I'll remember for a long time.
let's talk about roller coaster rides, and let's talk about the month of May for New York City FC.
Yeah, let's look at that because
So,
so much has happened. My brain's a little... All right, so Pittsburgh we spoke about. That if I'm not mistaken, that was our last...
So from what
no,
I last,
that wasn't our last episode.
what I last saw, it was
DC.
3 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws in the whole month of May.
So we haven't done an episode since DC. Okay, so we beat the Red Bulls.
you go back to our predictions. We were pretty much on the ball. It's 2-0.
I would
so.
never pick us to lose against the Red Bulls.
And listen, shout out to everyone for that game. That game was one of the most memorable derbies of the day.
That was epic.
Huge.
Especially what happened afterwards.
Epic in every way.
Then we beat Chicago 3-1 at Yankee Stadium. Chicago got 2 Reds, so listen, you got to win the games you can win. Then last Wednesday against Houston, 3-0 loss in the pouring rain. Woof.
Yep.
That was rough. That was a rough game to go to. We were there and like the weather just it just kept getting worse. That was honestly one of the shittiest weather games I've seen. I've attended probably in a long time. I couldn't remember NYCFC game where it legit poured.
I mean,
the whole
Gabe Siegel made it rain. We were
got
slipping and
revenge.
falling everywhere, but listen, kudos to everybody who came out. But again, those kind of performances, even, Pascal Janssen agreed, cannot happen again. So,
Nah, for sure, man. Listen, the team was all over the place, falling all over the pitch. They looked flat. They looked lost. Honestly, but the fans brought it. We were chanting down 3-0 all the way into deep into the game, 90+4. We were still chanting. So we took the L against a team we don't really play often, especially at home. So that kind of sucks. I know that's technically a bonus game because it wouldn't hurt you in the standings if in tiebreaker scenario, but we lost. And then we took our talent to the Radio City.
And a certain Wolf came out. The Wolf was out on
Wolverine?
sunny,
Wolverine?
hot Nashville.
Oh, boy. Let me see if I could get the lineup here for that game. Let me tell you something. I was actually at the Knick game. I mean, not the Knick game, the Met game, watching this on my phone. And my girlfriend was like, we paid tickets to watch the Mets, right? I'm like, listen, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Let me see
New
if I
York
can
City
get this
sports
lineup.
ahead of anything.
A
NYCFC.
little bit of technical difficulties, right? Not even technical difficulties. I'm just stupid.
I mean, yeah, but just roughly, just for this month, of course, what we can see is just inconsistencies with the teams we face. We're pretty good, when we square up against teams higher in the standings who are competing. And
I got our lineup. So in between the sticks, the U.S. men's national team call-up, Matt Freese.
We'll see you in Connecticut on Saturday, Matt Freese.
The best goalie in this country. Don't let it be fooled, Poach. So starting out at left back was Burke Risa. Center back, Justin Hack, our boy. Thiago Martins.
Captain.
Right next to him. Tavon Gray was at the right back because Micha is actually in Slovenia for the U21s or whichever team I think it's U21s, the national team. So shout out to Micha. Then we had Johnny Short and Aiden O'Neill running the double pivot. I would just love to listen to a conversation between a 17-year-old and Aiden O'Neill. He'd be like, hey, kid, you haven't done a shoey, yeah, that's British.
Get your accents right,
We're like, what are you going to do? The flag confuses me. Augustino Ojeda, right wing. Maxi Morales, center mid. Well, center attacking mid, sorry.
Well,
and then Hannes Wolf
10.
on the left wing. And Alonso Martinez up top. So pretty standard, to be honest, for us. But
I mean, to say much about the game, their 2 goals was pretty much just a play between, of course, Mukhtar, who's one of the best players in MLS for the last, you could say 8 years. And their striker, Surridge. I mean,
has he been in the league that long?
Pretty sure. I think probably since their inception. So I should say maybe around roughly 6 to 7 years. But it was a lot of combination play between him and Surridge. They're number 9. They link up pretty well. So that was what killed us in the first half, especially. Second half, we were playing with less pressure, much more open. And, yeah, we were really forcing Nashville to make mistakes.
They have been.
But that's what we say this again. Like, we have this capability against better teams, higher in the standings. But just when it comes to teams who we should be dominating, we kind of fold under pressure. And we just can't really be as clinical attacking.
So I was watching the game on my phone, watching the Met game, same time going back and forth. Got my Hello Kitty bobblehead, you know what I mean? All the important mumbo jumbo. And then I stopped watching after the first goal. I was just like, all right, let me enjoy the game. And then I saw that Nashville went up 2-0. I'm not going to lie. In my head, we were cooked. I was like, all right, whatever. We're just kind of on the slide right now. We're going to take the L. We usually don't play well away. I went to 2 away matches this year. We tied and lost. And so it just hasn't been great. But the boys came back and fought. And Hannes Wolf with the brace. I mean, the first goal was beautiful. I mean, that little extra pass by Keaton, a little ballsy.
It's good to see Keaton back healthy. But we'll get into the squad.
That one. Yeah. Shout out to Keaton Parks. Always good to see him out there. Rocking the mullet. He looked like he belonged in Nashville. Like, it looked like he shouldn't have left. They should have just left him there, dropped him off on Broadway or whatever they call it down there.
I mean, when he's now a dad.
What do they call that area down there? You went.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I know it's downtown Nashville, basically, where you
like
have...
Broadway or like wherever the country rock and roll Hall of Fame. Country Hall of Fame.
They have, what is it, the Predators Arena. They have basically a whole strip of bars, restaurants. It's a good away day. Good to see a lot of you guys out there. Kudos to you guys for being out there.
Yeah, I think I saw Duran out there, Danny out there, Andrew Tucker
went. Yep.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody who went. I know more people went, but just off the top of my head, those were the notable ones.
And I mean, this is a time of year where a lot of people are going to do away days. It's summer.
Oh,
we have a lot of cities we're going to visit.
Let's just put the bow. Let's just put the bow on this Nashville game. So we tie it 2-1. That goal was in the 53rd third.
2-2. We tied 2-2, and then we scored twice in the second half, and they scored twice.
Yeah,
in the
Hannes
first
Wolf
half.
scored this first goal in the 54th minute, so that makes it 2-1. And then we had a set piece in the 87th minute. It takes a deflection off a Nashville defender, Keaton Parks. I don't know if he was trying to head it into the net.
He got it on target.
But he hit it back. And when you rewatch, it doesn't even look like Hannes touched it until you see the other angle from behind the net. He megged the keeper. Like, he just barely, he literally just put his foot there, and it just rolled off his feet in between the keeper's legs, back of the net. To watch the emotion the team showed, like, when they scored that, I was like, all right, like, that was a win. It's very rare that NYCFC gets a tie that feels like a win, because we're usually the team conceding late. So to be on the other side of that, shout out to the boys, man. Shout out to Pascal Janssen. He made some pretty big subs.
I mean, we know that he's not afraid to make subs.
He
He's probably
subbed
the
in
coach.
Parks for O'Neal, Tanaslevich for Tavon, which was actually pretty surprising.
If you guys peeped Tanaslevich, like one time he was in a corner with a Nashville player and they were fighting for the ball. And he basically went under his legs and headed it to help the other player. But yeah, I mean, it was I guess bittersweet month, you can say. I mean, there's a lot of good things and a lot of things that we should not be doing.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
This is now we can start recapping on in May. And one thing I would say is, of course, like I was mentioning before, just our inconsistency with good teams. We know how to perform with lesser opposition who are lower in standings.
We play up to our competition. We also play down to them.
And that's one thing. We talk about draws feeling like wins. When it's a draw away, it feels like a win. Anything less than a win at home feels like a loss.
Listen, obviously a draw away usually feels like a win, but I've seen a lot of NYCFC draws where they were up 1-0 in the 90-something minute, and then they blew it, and they scored 1-1, and then they dropped 2 points. So for them to almost get no points and just come back, and Nashville is what in the standings? They're like third in the East?
No, fourth. So, I mean, right now,
they're one of the top teams in the league.
The table's pretty even right now, but they are above us, and they have been doing good.
So, we, like, to show what we're talking about, we beat Cincinnati, who's towards the top of the table. We lose to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the Open Cup. Yeah. Shit happened. Shout out to them, bro, to be honest. They got knocked out the next
by
weekend.
Philly.
Yeah,
and then Philly's going to play Red Bull next.
But still, shout out to them. They beat our ass. They deserved it. Then we lose to Club de Foot, or as that guy in Montreal so beautifully told us, the Impact.
So I would say this, right? There's 2 games this month that were literally felt like I wanted to put a nail in my head. And that was Montreal and Houston, which inexplicably we look so flat, especially going offensively, which baffles me.
Yeah, it was bad.
I don't know how we score 3 goals on Chicago. Well, that Chicago game was red cards helped us a lot. But against Red Bull, against Cincinnati, against better teams we played this month, Nashville, we can score with no problem.
I feel like
that's what baffles me.
If MIC, and it's funny because this game, but at home, I've noticed if the opposition scores first, they could park the bus on the smaller pitch, and like Alonso Martinez can't make the runs. The long balls that usually would float over the top and maybe the keeper has to run out, it just rolls right to him because the field is shorter in dimensions. So
yeah, Houston basically had a whole Longhorn limo. They had a whole limo in front of the goal. We couldn't even get past them. Literally, they were crowding the box.
Yeah,
and they were up by 2 by half. Probably, I think so. So yeah,
we're so Alonso Martinez dependent.
Right
look, we got this guy Hannes Wolf. He's got 6 goals.
And also, listen, let's make a little. Let's announce this. Our co-host.
Oh yeah,
Felix
we are scumbags. Obviously, Felix is not here. He wasn't feeling well, so he will be on next week. Not sure if we'll shoot that virtually or in person, but he is not here. Don't worry, he's all good.
And he's not in Rikers Island. So.
Him and his 10 cats or however many he's got. Don't worry, he's all good.
You guys just saw Ella, of course.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to walk off screen. My dog was.
But she's replacing Felix today. So yeah, she's
the executive producer, and she's really helping by sleeping
and licking our legs,
licking and making sure she gets pets. So. I mean, I would say in the match, definitely Montreal frustrated me because you know what? Even if we tie that, whatever, we had a bad game, but you don't lose. You don't give the team that hasn't won, like RSL just lost to the Gal. You don't want to be that team that gives them their first dub. And Montreal hasn't won since they beat us. So.
That's the only one they have the whole season. No, literally, that's literally the only win they have the whole season.
DC tie. I mean, Audi Field usually is never great
Again,
for us
that's
anyway.
that's
That's
plus
usually
going
never
away.
Audi Field is just I don't know something about it just never.
And then
has
the
right
Derby,
vibes.
which was probably the best performance we've had the whole season. And
I don't care what
the
anyone
whole
says. That might have
It is
that might have been the highlight of the month for me.
No, 100%.
Besides going to game
100%.
4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, that was
yeah, no,
pretty
but when
sick.
it comes to NYCFC, that is
Yeah,
the
I love
highlight of the month.
NYCFC more than the Knicks. I'm sorry, guys. And listen, that it's like this close, but
But let's be honest.
I don't
we're
have a
he-
podcast about the Knicks.
We're here for NYCFC because we knew and we got to know each other through NYCFC.
Yeah.
So
And them Knicks season tickets.
and also like it's just better when you
Can't
play
even
34
dream,
games
bro.
because when you play more than 34, we play 82. You know, you can't have
Yeah,
that.
41 home games is pretty OD. Plus now, well, the NBA Cup is in though, so yeah, no.
But you
right.
can't have that anticipation for like a basketball season or, you know, compared to soccer.
Yeah, I guess MLS is more close to the NFL as far as scheduling than most of the other leagues because we only have 34 games. And I mean, obviously with Leagues Cup, all those things are different. But the actual league, you only get to go to 17 home games. And if you spread that out, the season goes from what, February to October? That's 8 months. So if you really do the math, we're talking 1 to 2 games a month, if even.
At home, yeah. Unless
And,
it's
and,
May
and that's
we
for
have,
most
like,
teams because they have a stadium, and we have to deal. That's why we play 5 home games in 1 month because that's probably the only time the team could fit it in.
And I mean, that's in May. May is going to be the month that we had the most home games.
Yeah.
So,
How many more home games do we have for the rest of the season? We have 1, 2. We play 2 at Red Bull Arena for Leagues Cup against Puebla and Club Leon. 3. One's at Yankee Stadium, so that's 3. I'm only counting Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. Sorry. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 home games. Basically, and the last game against Seattle is to be determined. But listen, guys, the Mets and the Yankees are making the playoffs.
So 17 home games are in total. We have 8 left. We're literally halfway through the season.
Literally, like
The
actually.
Nashville game was the 17th game. We have 34. So, what would you rate now that we're moving on? Well, actually, no. Let's
Letter grade?
finish. Let's finish
letter-
off first May, and then we'll go on to June. And you know what? Well, before
No,
we
I
go
think
on
I
to
think
June,
what you said is good. Like, because I basically think because that was the last week we tied 2-2 against Nashville, so we came back from the 2-0 deficit, but we don't play for 2 weeks, so I think it's actually a good time to sit there and evaluate what grade we should give Pascal Janssen.
So I was before we go to the grading. I just wanted to say quickly. So some of the things Pascal Janssen, quoted this month was wanting his wingers to score more.
He's had a lot of quotes. This month.
And that's the thing. He puts the team accountable when we're
He
bad.
puts his money where his mouth is.
But that's one thing that we really have to start figuring out is, offensively, just breaking down these teams and not going down early, especially at home, because that's never really been an issue with other coaches in general. At home, you'll probably get at most.
Honestly, I don't want to put it on him because these
No, I
were
don't think- no,
these
it's-
were things we were seeing last
No,
year.
I'm not putting it on
too.
him. I'm saying
I
in
would say the
general,
players,
things we gotta highlight.
Sometimes watching the Knicks and NYCFC is very similar. The talent is there, but the mental lapses are just so apparent, and they always come at like the most confusing times. It's like why, like just why? It's very very rarely a team scores a goal against NYCFC. I'm like, yeah. It's usually always like, oh, there it is. That's what we did. That allowed that for them. But that's part of the game, and the boys have been playing well. 17 games in, we have 7 wins, 6 losses, and 4 ties, right? Because it's win, loss, tie.
Yeah, I think it's just a roller coaster ride. I think before the Houston game, we were looking pretty good. We were in 6th.
We
If we
were
would
on a
have got
2-game win streak. I think.
2, that would have been 3. And
3
that's-
unbeaten.
Think about it. If we get at least a draw, I mean, we should have been a win at home. You're looking at that Nashville game completely different. You're ending off May in a way of like you're undefeated. You've gotten, more wins than losses. At, the whole.
I
the
kind
whole
of
month.
look at that
So,
Houston game the way I look at that Philly game, that 5-1 last year. Like it just the boys
I
are just
would
flat.
say that if we didn't have the Montreal game the same month.
No, that's true.
If
These are
if
habits.
this was just a bad result, fair.
And they were both at
But
home.
this exactly, and they were 2-3 weeks apart, 2.5 weeks apart. So, but that's the
good.
thing. I mean, that's one thing that we you guys should just definitely highlight and know is we're approaching the summer transfer window. So, and not only this, but before we get to the transfers, we have gotten much more players back, and I think that helped us in May. We've gotten a lot of players return from injury. You know, it's great to see Tavon starting regularly.
Yeah, it's good to see him on the pitch, man.
It's good to see
him and Micha are interchangeable.
Of course, O'Neal being an addition helps a lot. One thing I would say is I love Johnny Shore, and he is something that we are going to help build going forward. But we need someone who is much more experienced and better, to be honest, starting that position. Keaton's been on and off because of injury. Perea, similar boat. I think Keaton has maybe better track record health-wise, but that's something that we have to really consider. And now, of course, getting a number 10 in the transfer window. And just the wingers not being really so torn apart from Alonso Martinez. I like that he's putting Martinez and Bakrar as strikers in second half, especially if we're down.
I like them playing
together. We're
drawing.
But yeah, I mean, listen, going forward, especially these next games, we just cannot be doing this at home.
So what grade would you give Pascal Janssen halfway through the season?
I mean, I'll say the team. I'll give the team, Pascal Janssen included.
Well, yeah, he's part of it. I'm just saying in general.
May, okay, so I'll give a grade for May and I'll give a grade for half of the season. The grade for half of the season is...
It's like a C+.
They're very similar. I'll give them B-.
C+, B-. I like that. And listen, without that Montreal, without Montreal and Houston, we're talking maybe an A- here.
Oh yeah, no, that would
because he is really overachieving with the squad that is talented, but to compete in this league, it's pretty impressive what he's doing.
I just like that he tries different things, and I mean that's what.
And
happens.
I like that he talks a lot of shit, but like good shit. Like,
he keeps it real.
If the players are fucking up, he's just like, yeah, they're fucking up. Nick Cushing, he would make a lot of excuses and sugarcoat it. And maybe he sugarcoated it to the media and then he said different things. I'm not sure. But it's good to just put that energy out because the messaging is consistent. Whatever he's saying, I mean, obviously not everything, but if he's saying something in public, that for sure that's being said behind the scenes in Orangeburg at the training facility. So I think that's dope, man. And it's crazy because we went to an action-packed May where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. We're now in June. We only have 2.
It's 3, 3, and 2. That's what we finished May. And again, I mean, honestly, a B-, C+. Which
is good. The boys need some rest, man. And shout out to all the guys who getting called up. Matt Freeze, Micha, all you guys who are getting called up. Shout out to you guys. Congrats. I hope Matt Freeze wins the Gold Cup. That would be sick, and he deserves to be a starting goalie for
I hope
USA.
At least he plays.
For us, it sucks because you already know once he touches if he does touch the field for USA, he's gone. Like it's.
Well, let's see.
But it's like that process is going to be accelerated so fast if he starts for the national team.
If I'm not wrong, I reviewed when there's going to be international break, and since we're not playing much this month, he's only bound to miss 2 games, which is not the end of the world.
So would he miss June 12th?
June 12th because
he'd miss it Montreal.
Yeah, because he'll be in the Gold Cup.
Let's go. It would either be Romero, Rondo, or
Romero will be probably the starter, and then you have
your
boy Ramchit Singh. Shout out to Salvador for having him there.
I mean that would be dope. That'd be sick.
And then have Greg on the bench. I mean,
Greg, the Canadian guy.
Ramchit Singh.
Wonder how he feels about Montreal. This is a Toronto guy. Let us know, Greg.
It's time for them to step up. Tomas Romero. We know that he's played for LAFC and MLS. Greg has gotten
MLS Cup champion.
Yeah, he's gotten Greg Ramchit Singh. He's gotten a few appearances with Orlando in MLS. So, this is the time for them to shine. It's a time for them to.
They're all competing for that number 2.
Yeah, and it's anybody's position, really.
Or eventually number 1, because I truly believe Matt Freeze will be and when the stadium opens, Matt Freeze will not be the starting goalie for NYCFC.
Let's take it a season at a time. Let's see who actually stays and what
I don't know. I just believe the guy's that talented.
And I mean, listen, when it comes to a player,
and with the World Cup around the corner, if he shows out and for some reason injuries to Matt Turner or something, and he ends up starting, he's gone.
Yeah, let's see how it pans out. But again, players like Freeze, and even if they're bound to leave at some point if they keep doing well, we're just happy to have them here.
No, absolutely, I am. I'm just saying, he's balling out of control,
and that's fun. That's what you want him to do, And kudos to him.
Being an MLS fan, when your player balls, His time's ticking.
I remember it's just not MLS. The
No, I
majority
know,
of the leagues around the world.
But here specifically, it's more prominent than most places.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's part of.
It's better than being a retirement league. I'll tell you that.
So we play Atlanta on a Thursday, 7:30 at Yankee Stadium. Lord Jesus, I'm gonna be hungover at work the day after that. Hopefully we could get that'll be Ronnie Dyler's first return to New York since leaving us high and dry mid-season.
And we cannot lose. We've already gave them 3 points in Atlanta, and basically
you never know
they gave Red Bulls 3 points this weekend.
Yeah.
So
I actually, one of my boys is an Atlanta fan, and he lives in Atlanta. He went to the game, and I was like, "Yo, you in New York?" He's like, "Technically not."
Yeah, my friends from Atlanta last year too. They came up here.
Man, that's brutal, man. If you're an Atlanta United fan, come to. If there's not even a question which away day you want to go to. So yeah, we play the 5 stripes. I don't know. I don't really have much on that. Like Miguel Almiron and Ronnie Dyler return. He's gonna get a standing O from me.
I think so. I think we should all clap. I mean,
at the end of the day, that star is there for a reason.
He's in the history books.
He's
Forever.
the guy. No
Forever.
matter how many managers win MLS Cup or trophies after, he was the one to win the first.
But let's be honest, that should be a W at home.
The first game should have been a W. Me and you were in attendance for that game.
And you know what's crazy?
I bought almost all the beer in that stadium because it's so cheap. That game was getting me so upset.
So that was their only win until recently that they got a win at home, which I think might have been last week. So
yo, if you want to win, just sometimes if you catch us on the right day, we'll give it to
charitable.
you. We will give it to you. Like,
charitable.
Yo, Montreal, you need this W, bop. Atlanta, you need this comeback win, bop.
Funny enough, 2 of our favorite away day teams are the ones we play this week, and we're doing one of our favorite away days.
And we went to both away days, so it's actually kind of ironic.
We're going
so
to
we are going
Montreal.
To the Great White North, north of the border, up to Montreal, my favorite away day.
I told him last year.
Even close.
I told him last year before he first went for his first time, I'm like, you're going to fall out. He's in love.
Whoever's listening to this, go.
In love.
If you're thinking about it, go. You could take a bus up there for like $70. It's cheap. The dollar's higher up than the Canadian. It's a different culture, different vibe. They don't really like Americans, but well, they can go fuck themselves. What do you want
nice
from
enough.
me? Yeah, they'll deal with you. All right.
Just say this.
Try some poutine. Go smoke some of that weed because that shit is crazy.
Say it with me, Nico. Shit à mi Montreal.
Shit on me, Montreal. I don't know. That sounds like the guy at the dispensary who wouldn't stop talking to me in French. And I was just like, bro, like, I literally looked like I just walked out of like a Biggie Smalls extra in the music video. I had like a Nick Starter jacket on, Tim's. It was bad. Like, come on, bro.
But yeah, we should Tim stop Montreal.
So we are going to Montreal. I will never not go for the rest of my time being an NYCFC fan. But I'm very excited. This is my 3rd away day this year. I'm actually spreading out my away days. Like, I didn't go to New England, but I went to Miami, Atlanta, now Montreal. Bro, I'm so hyped. It's going to be a great time. We're road tripping up. We're going to be there from Thursday to Sunday. Oh, my God.
Needless to say, that should be 6 points this month.
I'm literally saving money, like, every single day for that trip, and I'm just going to go, like, ape. It's going to be such a good time. And I hope we win, because last year we lost. But hopefully the boys get a win. It'll be fun. I'm excited. Montreal, it's the summertime.
What are your predictions for those 2 games?
Atlanta, I wouldn't be surprised if we tied or did. But if you really put a gun to my head,
we cannot tie.
2-0. 2-0 Atlanta, and I'm going to say Montreal. Either 2-0 or 1-0.
I think we're more bound to win at home than away against Atlanta, especially since we have a break. So,
we're just capping those 2 games because that's really like we play Toronto the day before 4th of July, but whatever.
And again, of course, we're not going to be as busy on the field this month, but the front office should be as busy as they can be because once July 1st hits, I want to see 24/7 work.
So
find us
now that Kevin De Bruyne has officially been signed by Napoli, basically, what's his name? Fabrizio Romano basically already said it. So once he says it, it's already happening.
Oh, shout out Napoli.
Listen, shout out
And I
to
think
him.
That's a perfect move for him.
Shout out to him for not just mailing it in. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like all the stars who went to Chicago, as long as I watched MLS, it never worked out. Schweinsteiger didn't work out. Shaqiri clearly didn't give a fuck while he was here. He just was here for the bag. And then once he left, he started balling out of his mind. So for him, I mean, listen, if he didn't want to be here right now, then that's fine. I mean, living in Napoli and he gets to stay in Europe close to his country. So if he wants to whenever he gets called up, it's not like such drastic travel. So for him, shout out to him.
So I'll say this, right? Let's all be realistic about the signings.
Yeah. So now that he's gone,
so what I was gonna say was basically, we just all got to remember, right, that a lot of the players that we can go for, some of them are gonna play in international duty. They're gonna play in the Club World Cup. Shout out Santi, he's gonna be in the Club World Cup.
Yes,
just
he
if
is.
you guys don't remember. So a lot of these guys are going to be already playing.
And he's playing in Jersey, funny enough, right?
I'm not
Botafogo is playing in Jersey.
Botafogo, no, it's Fluminense.
Ah, okay.
Fluminense play there with Dortmund.
Dortmund, yeah.
And then two other teams that I can't remember. But let's be realistic with their signings. Again, everybody's going to say the same thing. No name this, no name that. A lot of, I'll say 70, 80% of the players that have stepped up to be part of our history books came here as no name. So it's not about the name. It's about who we get, what they play, and if they can fit in our system. And of course, they have to have a good track record. I mean, we want somebody talented who's doing well in a good league, or at least good competition.
So, like, I feel like fans are so thirsty, me included, are so thirsty for like signings. Like, what is actually gonna like make that appetite be like, okay, like what is gonna quench that thirst where we're like, all right, because I don't know. I feel like David Lee kind of backed himself into a corner where like he's sat on his hands for so long. Even if he makes moves, if they're like lackluster, no one's gonna care, and it's just gonna be met with criticism.
Again, at the end of the day, everyone, all of us have to remember that it's only lackluster if you're not getting the right player in the right position that can play the right way. This is the first time David Lee's actually had a competent coach since Dyla, but I think maybe the most competent coach with the most coaching experience in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where you got to have the most. Aiden O'Neill, I think, was a good signing. He's, of course, he's working his way, but he's getting the one. He's something we need.
I haven't noticed
better
him.
than what we had.
I haven't noticed him, and sometimes that's not a bad thing.
No,
if I don't notice you doing anything bad, then
remember,
you're doing your job.
And remember, like I always say, we got to know ball in a position like his. Some of the
he's
best,
not really supposed to impact the game.
Not only that, the way he impacts it, or the way that a defensive midfielder impacts it, it's nothing highlight worthy.
Yeah, it's not on the stat sheet.
It's just a system thing that's going to help the team. So he's better than what we had. He's doing as good as he can. I think he's doing fairly well. So
drawing a lot of fouls.
Not only that, but at least helping someone like Johnny Shore. Even though I think we should have someone more experienced next to O'Neill behind Moxie. But talking about signings, we need to relieve Moxie of his duties, not in that way, but of not playing him and being the only number 10 creative soul of the team. So we need a number 10. We need an attacking midfielder.
I think we need another, we need a left back.
I'd say that too, if we can. Or like a center back, left back. Like a defender that can play both.
Yeah.
Risa honestly has not been doing a bad job there.
He hasn't.
But we need someone more physical.
But he made people nervous with things that they've seen.
He's not your typical left back anyway. He's not one who's going to go up the wing. He's just going to.
He kind of reminds me fuck this guy because I know he ended up going to jail whatever after he left us. But in a way, he kind of reminds me of Brian Koufre. In a way,
hot take, but I think if you know ball, you kind of know where I'm coming from. I think he's one of the most underrated loans we've had. I think he actually genuinely was talented.
No, he was.
But he was there at the wrong time.
He did bad things after he left. So
no, I mean we're not gonna get him back.
That's why I said.
We only talk about
someone's like, you're support. No,
whatever you did when you left here, I have no clue.
It had nothing to do with us, kid. No, but that's kind of who he reminds me of when I watch him play because he'll shoot from far.
He is technically as good. They're both technically good.
Yeah, no, that's so when I watch him play, but I feel like the defensive lapses, not always his fault, but. We're New Yorkers, we're emotional. If he's the last guy line of defense,
logical.
If he's whoever we see on the TV when shit goes bad, he's gonna get the smoke. And sometimes rightfully so. Sometimes I felt like people were ODing on him a little bit, but at the same time, I don't really know what will satisfy the fan base. I would
I'll
prefer.
tell this, us as fans have to be smart, right?
Yeah.
Again, you talk about emotion and whatnot, but this is a business. This is a game played on the field, guys. On the field. Not in the stands, not coaching, and the players got to get it together. Of course, David Lee is the one that has to coordinate with the coaching staff, but we need a striker, a third. We cannot just depend on two. We
Yeah.
need. I don't know what on earth is going to happen with Mijatovic. I don't even know where he's at, what he's doing, and genuinely, I don't think a lot of us really care. But we need a third
Well,
striker.
technically, his loan would be up soon, right?
Yeah,
if he would
but
return,
we've heard
please,
nothing about
I don't
him,
want him to
nor
come
that.
back. I'm sorry.
You know what's funny? I think
Listen.
I had a dream one day that Mijatovic was just revamped by Pascal Janssen. Let's just hope that my wildest dreams actually come true. But we need a striker. We need a number 10. We need a defender that's a left back.
Well, if they
center
sign
back.
a striker, that basically says that the Jovan experiment was a failure.
Oh, yeah, Jovan's not coming back, for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, shame on you, David Lee, for giving that kid all that money.
But again, he was coordinated with someone like Nick Cushion, who is a whole different pedigree to Pascal Janssen.
Listen, that's how I'm gonna put it. I used to be like a server at a restaurant. If my boss tells me to do something and they give you the authority, at the end of the day, the boss has the final say. So David Lee's the boss, and if he's letting the people under him influence
But
his
the
decisions,
staff was not as good as
at the end of the day, his signature is when pen needs to meet the paper, he's the one signing it.
But let's be honest, we
The
just
buck
need
stops with
signings.
him. No, we do need signings, but
Yeah.
especially if he knew he was going to fire Nick Cushing, it makes signing Jovan. Maybe he didn't know he was going to fire him, but if he knew it was a possibility, signing that kid was even a worse decision because you were making a decision that was going to impact the team for longer than the coach is going to be there. So now we're stuck with some bullshit from somebody who isn't even in the team anymore. It was his player. Well, guess what? Nick Cushing isn't here anymore. So what?
Again, it comes down to how he coordinates with Pascal Janssen. and
I
his
hope
staff.
he gives
and I think it'll be
Pascal
better. I
Janssen
think it'll be
that.
better. But the fact that David Lee just has to make those signings. But enough of that. Enough of him because I got drained talking about.
Let's hope that he wakes up and just makes some competent signings. I don't need Ronaldo. I don't need any of these. I don't care if I don't.
And
know
we
who
don't
their
even
name
need
is. No.
Ronaldo.
There's
So-
some players in MLS I would take right now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like no one's asking for you to go get, I don't know, like Mbappe. Like no
You
one
know,
needs
who I
that.
was thinking about when I saw against Houston, Jack McGlynn, who's from Queens. Like, we could have traded for him for Philly. I know Philly probably
Yo.
would have been harder.
The New York
But
dudes
he's
always come
good.
back and kill us, bro. They always come back.
No,
and
but
kill
he's a
us.
good
I
player,
know,
and we
but
could have really traded for him if we wanted. And I think he could have really helped us out.
We're
Could
not
have helped
really
out
big
Maxi.
with trading within the league. That's why I like the Matt Freeze and Pereira thing was kind of
Sometimes that's
interesting.
the
Yeah, but
better
that's
thing,
the thing.
yeah.
Sometimes, but you see, it works out when they go that way. So it always, not to say that
Like,
should be
maybe
their
like
main
2
route,
or
but
3 signings and a trade would be
Yeah,
like
like-
good. Spice it up.
listen, no,
Like,
there's
seriously.
good players in this league who can help this team win. But obviously, I'm sure that's not where they're gonna go. I guarantee you, in a little over a month, we're gonna sign some Uruguayan or Argentinian or Brazilian kid you've never heard of. And you know what? That's all right. As long as he comes here with the right attitude and he shows up on the field and he kills it,
That's what
that's
really
all
all
I
matters.
care about. But
And
David
again,
Lee,
yeah, I agree.
this is your. If it was up to me, like you would have been fired a long time ago. But in my opinion, this is your job right here. If you sit on your hands again, there's nothing you can say to change the fans' minds. Like you've kind of already just sabotaged and destroyed 4 transfer windows at this point.
If you ever want Chop Cheese to elaborate a lot, just say the 2 words, David Lee.
Listen, I'm just saying, your job. Listen, buddy, your job's on the line, buddy. If not, your ass is grass.
My job is more to tell him to fucking put his money where his mouth is and what he needs.
Yeah,
And
he said we were waiting for the
if
summer.
you're that clueless, I mean, even if you want like a fan input, listen to us, listen to all the podcasters for NYCFC.
If you have
We'll
to
tell
listen
you.
to us, you should not be the man running the ship.
If it's really that bad, yeah, you're buns.
Like
So,
nobody who works at NYCFC should ever hear anything we say and go, "Oh yeah."
no, but the fans are important. But
No,
again,
of course,
they should
but
know
they're
better
paid.
than we do.
Yeah, they
know
should.
better
That's their
than we do.
job. Like if you don't know better than us, then shame on you.
But yeah, I mean we have June. It's not going to be as active on the field.
Yeah, literally June. So honestly, guys, there won't be an episode this week. Well, this obviously, but
And we will be in USA versus Turkey in Connecticut.
should we do a live podcast from Montreal after the game?
Let's see. We'll recap June. I don't mind that.
That would be fucking.
And by then, we'll
Oh,
probably
no.
have rumors. We'll have rumors about
That
who we're
might be
signing.
bad though. God.
Let's see. We'll keep you guys.
Maybe
in
we'll
tune.
do an Instagram live.
something, guys.
Yeah, something. You guys will definitely
And
be
hopefully
here for
Felix
us.
will
But
be out of-
listen, yeah, hopefully Felix will definitely be back.
Out of
You know,
prison.
I know he wishes he was.
No, he's not. He's not in prison.
He's not in prison.
He's in
guys.
prison in his room, sick.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's in the chamber called the Bronx, and
We only have so much time there left.
yeah, and that's honestly another thing I wanted to say is, guys, just enjoy the rest of the season, man. Like, in 2 years, who knows how different things will be. Like, when we were chilling at the bodega on Wednesday, I was like, damn, bro, like this is really like in 2 years, I will not be doing this.
We'll never do that again.
Never
For NYCFC
I'm not
games, at
even a
least.
Yankee fan, but like
I am.
it doesn't matter. Like for NYCFC fans, like that's lore. Like and I know some people are
big
like,
lore.
oh, but the Yankees do this. It's not the same.
And
that group-
I've been there before, big
Yeah.
Yankee games. It's not the same.
It's all a bunch of Long Island kids going over there. Like who wants to do that? There's no fun.
Yeah, we need to have a teteo before the game. That's
And
how you get
hopefully-
it done.
Real quick, I was at the Met game. Went over to the Coca-Cola corner. You could stand and like look over.
Oh
at this,
my God.
the amount of people that were coming over to like look at it was actually pretty crazy. Me and
Because it
Jen,
looks crazy now.
yeah, me and Jen sat there for like a good like 10, 15 minutes, and no lie, 30 to 40 people all stopped. And
That's
half
beautiful.
of them thought it was the casino. They were like, "Oh, they're building the casino." I'm like, "No, it's the stadium for NYCFC."
And listen, I mean, these Met fans better realize that this is a blessing in disguise for them. That whole neighborhood.
Shout out to the amazing Met Zone. He actually went to NYCFC Red Bull, and he told me he's going because now we're in Queens and because of my videos. So shout out to him.
Yep. Shout out to him.
But yeah, everybody, all the Met fans should realize this is going to benefit them more than they think. You're getting a whole neighborhood next to Citi Field for your Met games. And let's be honest, it's centered around NYCFC, and that's the initiative.
The stadium
So,
will help more than the casino will.
Yep. And not only that, you'll have a bodega, hopefully, God willing, hopefully, next to our stadium, next to Citi Field, and that's going to be for both. So, a lot to look forward to, of course. Once we go back to Citi Field, everybody just keep their heads up for an update, of how everything changes every month, every week, every day.
I
in
can't wait just
construction,
to start
so-
to watch it just go up.
Oh, by the end of the year, yeah. Everything's gonna be going up. So
So that's really it, guys. Like we said in the beginning, sorry that we've been on and off, but that's it. That's really all I gotta say.
Thank you guys for your patience. Again, we appreciate you guys are here with us through thick and thin. It was a good recap in May, a busy month, and June will be another month, guys.
All right, this is the
Signing
New York
out.
City Nobody signing out.
Peace,
Peace.
guys.